It's the end of the year. Hopefully, you're done with almost everything else you have to do in induction for this year, whether you're year one or year two. And now you get to just do a reflection based on the entire year. And Module D has its own place because really it's you summarizing and reflecting upon the entire year. And the venue that we use to discuss that is called Colloquium. That happens at the end of May, and that's where a bunch of different administrators and district level personnel that are involved with us come, and they get to listen to you talk about your students, your instruction, and your year in induction and as a new teacher. So it's a really inspiring and wonderful event, but I want you to be prepared for it. So this document is just going to help you get your talking points together so that when you go and have that discussion, you don't feel like you're tripping over your words and you know what you want to say. It's pretty self-explanatory. They're just little reflective questions about your entire year in instruction. I do want to point out things like describe one way you have ensured equity in your classroom. Remember that equity is different than equality. Equity is giving everybody what they need to succeed. And so how have you ensured equity? How have you made sure that all students have a chance to interact with the content, to talk to each other, to walk around the room, to do all of those different things? And then related to that is differentiating instruction. So how have you differentiated instruction? And we've done that so many times. I'm actually kind of tired of talking about it because every single module has that woven throughout. So how have you done that? Maybe include one really important way or a way that you hadn't thought of before, but it turned out to be very effective. And then again, related to that, we're looking at something effective and instructional strategy you used for English learners that just really stood out to you as impactful. Again, if you have no English learners in your class, you were still supposed to be using those strategies for your struggling learners, so you will still talk about the effective instructional strategy you used, but it should be related to English learners. And then you're going to actually pick out and share some part of student evidence. This can be inside the box thinking. It can be a specific assignment that you could pull out or a piece of writing. Or it could be video or photos of your students doing something that was really innovative, but it should illustrate some kind of shift that you've made in your teaching this year. We don't want teachers to start and end at relatively the same location on that continuum of teaching practice. We want to see that you've grown. So what evidence best illustrates your shift? And then what are you going to investigate or focus on next year? Even if you're a year two, you want to start thinking about that. It doesn't matter whether or not induction is over. What I want you to be thinking of is, as an educator, you're a practitioner, just like a doctor. You want to continue to stretch and grow as a practitioner so that you continue to think of the newest and best possible ways to reach your students. And then this question is kind of fun and everyone has a chance to share. And that's just one funny or interesting thing that happened to you this year. So I'll give you some time to reflect and think about that. And then you just want to jot down some ideas that will help jog your memory at the table when you're discussing at Colloquium. And that's it. It's pretty easy. I really encourage you to have this conversation with your CT and not try to do it in isolation, because they can really help you think through your entire year and come up with the best possible ways to shine at Colloquium.